Hey everyone, Caleb from Stay Lake Norman here. We are the best in class when it comes to vacation rentals on Lake Norman, and we want to bring you the best in class. So I'm sitting down with the best in the area, where to eat, what to drink, and how to play on Lake Norman. Let's get to it. Alrighty, everyone, it is that time again. We have a brand new episode of the Lake Norman Experience podcast, and I'm sitting here with Tony. And Tony is the founder, the majority owner, the head janitor, the brewmeister, the hospitality captain, whatever you want to say that takes a hold of a business, you do. And Tony, before we get into exactly what Jolly Roger Brewery is, why don't you tell me the all-important question is, why do you love Lake Norman and why are you here?
Well, location, location, location. It's a great place. I love the lake.
Absolutely.
Spent a lot of time there. I love the people. You have a cross section of the United States here, really, and you have all different age groups that come through our brewery as well. So you really get a pulse of what's going on, not just here, but in the United States.
Say it time and time again. Everybody I talk to, the first thing they say is the lake. The second thing they say is the people. It's what brought them here, and it's what's keeping them here. And this place specifically just creates an environment for people, and we'll get to that. But we were talking earlier, you have a background in technology, you exited that, and now you're a brewery, and it sounds crazy, that shift, but why beer? Why Jolly Roger Brewery? How'd that come about?
So you're right. I've been in the part of early stage startups, taking companies public until about 6 years ago when I sold my last company. I had nothing to do, and I still went to a lot of conferences like the CES in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's where I ran into a company that leveraged technology for brewing. And I said, wow, that's kind of cool. If I could leverage technology and make it feasible, then that would be fun.
Yeah.
And then we created the brand, the Jolly Roger brand, and that has to do with my son, my 17-year-old son. His name is Roger. We've had pirates in our lives for the last 17 years, and that's how we came up with this. And while we were doing this, we found a way to make beer, quality beer, very consistent.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that. I love the backstory. I have I have two kids, so I understand when they get a hold of something, it stays in your life forever. So that's in your family then. So I love the fact that you brought the family in to help name it. And then the tech side of the beer kind of goes into what makes you different than a lot of breweries local, but then just nationally, because it's something new that I've never heard of. So yeah, why don't you tell everybody what makes Jolly Roger so different than many breweries they've probably ever heard?
So the system that we use is from Germany. It's made by a company called Speidel, which is the largest producer of fermenters in the world. And the system is all electric, internet connected, and it allows for ease of brewing, but more importantly, consistency from batch to batch.
Right.
Because it's all programmed in. And that's really allowed us to produce the quality product.
Yeah, absolutely. And go into a little bit further, more along the lines of what can people expect when they come here. Now, it's a small space. If you're watching on here, you can see it's small, but that curates connection. And that's just one of the things that you guys aim to provide when people come to hang out with you. So go into a little bit more detail about, what Jolly Rogers tries to differentiate from other places.
So we really, there are 3 points that Jolly Roger Brewery is all about. Number one, we're veteran owned, so we cater towards veterans.
I love that.
We do tons of veteran events. We were part of the 4th of July parade with our Marine Humvee. And we have an event coming up this weekend to support the Piedmont Veteran Assistance Council. And everybody here that helps out with somehow tied in with veterans as well. Number two, it's about pirates. And we're a pirate theme, Caribbean theme. You walk in here and you may run into Johnny Depp. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. No. That's what it feels like a little bit for sure.
And then last but not least is the beer. So what we're known for is we do 9 beers. That's all. 2 of them are seasonal. The rest are here year round. Within their categories, they're consistently rated by our customers as top of beers they've had. So we've got a great Barbarossa Red. We've got a great Blackbeard Stout. We've got a Eye Patch IPA. And when you come here 6 months later, it'll still be here.
Right.
Same quality. And that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I've traveled to visit friends, right? And they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is a great local brewery. Let's go." And you go in there, and I'm like, "What should I get?" And they're like, "Well, all the beers are different this time." And it's like, "So just taste one and see what you like." And it's like, "No, I really do like the idea that you guys have the staples, the 7, that when I invite friends here, I can tell them exactly what they're going to expect when they come here." And I think that's kind of what you guys aim to do as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, and different people like different things. I mean, there are breweries that have 30 different beers, and it changes all the time, and that's very exciting and adventuresome. Here, it's all about you're going to see pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And when people come in here, once again, it is small. It's a little different than what you expect if you're going to these new age craft breweries that have this huge outdoor area and all these yard games and stuff. It's a different feel, which I think I personally enjoy. It's a different, change of direction. What can someone expect when they come grab a beer here?
Well, first of all, you're going to have a conversation with whoever's serving the beer, whether that's me or Joanna or Francis, and they'll give you it's like a personal tour almost of our beers. And because we only have 9, that's easy to do. But then when you sit down here, you're going to be sitting next to somebody else. You're going to hear what they have to say, and maybe they share a passion that you have. And before you leave, you'll be talking to somebody else. You'll be laughing about something. And then, when you leave, you might just leave together and go grab dinner somewhere. And we cater to that. We support that. We encourage that. When we hear somebody come in new, that is from upstate New York, and somebody in the back is a big Jets fan, we're there to introduce them.
Yeah, I love that, and that again, it just hits on the mark of you come for the lake, you stay for the people. And we're just building relationships in the community, just surrounded by great beer, which is, I mean, there's no better thing than that, right? Relationships and great beer.
Yeah, beers, loosen the tongue.
That's it.
And I can say nobody has ever walked in here and not left without laughing.
I love it. Well, listen, if you guys are listening, you guys are watching, you want to come taste the consistency, you want to support a veteran-owned business in the area, or you really just love pirates, this is the place to be, Jolly Rogers. Now, Tony, where can everybody go to make sure they know your hours and what you guys are doing, either in the community or hosting here?
Yeah, our social media, Instagram or Facebook, at Jolly Roger Brewery. That's where you can see any events that we're doing, any specials that we have, any re-releases that we have. Don't type in the wrong Jolly Roger. You might end up in St. Kitts, the Caribbean. That's happened before. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a long drive difference. So
you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll link all that in the show notes, but seriously, everybody, if you're listening and watching and you want to come, get an amazingly consistent beer served by whether a staff or even a volunteer that works for them or a veteran, and you want to meet some great people, this is the place to be. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Lake Norman Experience. Make sure you don't miss another one, so be sure to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Stay Lake Norman, and make sure to follow us and subscribe to the Lake Norman Experience wherever you get your podcasts.